The Ash, Lutzi and Suse O'Neill podcast.
Yeah. Monday pod.
Kendall
and I had a conversation off air. I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, don't waste.
They're not recording.
You
Over
don't
here.
waste your words if it's not being recorded.
We just sit in silence when we're not on air because we
Yeah.
can't talk.
No. Sometimes I ring you and just like don't speak.
Sit in silence.
It's kind of weird, actually.
Save it
Who
for the
is
show.
this?
Save
Who
it-
is this? You're scaring me and the family. And I just hang up.
That's what most women say when Lutzi rings.
Oh, whoa!
Scaring me and the family.
Kendall Gilding.
Oh dear. Anyway, that's a bit of fun, wasn't it? That was good. What else is happening, everyone?
Well, you, I have to say, David, you pulled up remarkably chipper.
I
from
cannot-
what I can only assume was a big weekend. Your voice doesn't even sound like that you were out on the tiles at all.
It makes no sense because Elle was a bit crook after Saturday night because we went out, until all hours, and then
What time did you go out till Saturday night? Talk me through everything happened after the game Saturday. Like, did you go? What happened?
we went. So after the game, went to waited till the boys came around and high fived on the side of the field, and then went to the official function. Official function didn't start till 7, so found a bar.
Where was
just
that?
drank there. There's a new function space just near newish, right next to the MCG.
It's weird. Last year they
Centrepiece.
booked a big room at the Crown.
Yeah, this was a big room.
Okay.
It was like you were at the
Like in a
convention
centre. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yep.
It's called Centrepiece. It's next to the MCG now.
Were you there last year, by the way, out of
I have
interest
no
in
recollection.
contrast?
No.
He didn't go to
went.
the official after party. He
No.
was at a different after party.
All right.
When do you remember where I went? Because I have no idea.
It was kind of in the MCG. You went to that thing for a while.
Don't remember that.
Yeah. Yep. He went downstairs to another party in the MCG.
Oh yeah. That was like Monster.
Yeah. Yes. Monster,
you
the
come to that?
energy drink. No.
Oh, that was fun. You
I
should've
just
come
wanted to
that.
go to the Lions after party in the Crown.
But I wasn't invited to that.
Well, I know, but I was like, we will get in.
Yeah.
We will go up there.
Jeez,
and
I tell
we
you
will
what,
be.
it wasn't easy getting into things.
Well, this year it wouldn't have been because everyone loves a bandwagon. So it's like,
yeah, it was not easy. Like we had to, work hard to get wristbands and stuff like that. But anyway, and so then went to that, stayed at that probably till they ran out of booze, which would have been 11 or
Was
something.
that all the players and stuff too?
Players rocked up, did a stage thing, and then they had a private area at that function where you could sort of, eventually you got to mingle with them a bit. Had a cool moment with Lockie Neal. He came out and sat in the public area, and it was kind of like Father Christmas meets a dictator. It was like he was sitting there, some bloke, and I went, oh shit. I said, yeah, Lockie's over there. I haven't even seen him yet. And I was like, oh man, he's sitting there on this couch, talking, some of my fans talking to him, and then I just went, you mate, point at him, and he went, and then he just gave me the one finger, come here, call me over, it's your turn, buddy. And I gave him a big hug. He said, I love you, man. I love you too. He's unreal.
Wow.
Blah, blah. Pretty cool. And
That's
then,
unreal.
And then sort of,
That's epic, actually.
that's a real
Pretty
name
cool.
drop.
What
and
was
a
he-
moment drop.
yeah.
What was he?
Well,
Was he showered up and everything by that stage?
He had the white business shirt on by that stage with the jersey on over the top.
Which we
Then
call
we-
a Guernsey in AFL.
Guernsey, sorry, yeah, Guernsey.
Thank you.
And then I went, and then the word got out that because the kid, Harry Sharp, who I felt sorry for, but he was the first emergency. He didn't get to play, but still was part of it, and yada yada yada. The kid was like, "Yeah, we're going to this pub." So, and then we got there, and we got there early, but didn't have the wristband yet. Waited for the bus arrived, then we getting wristbands. We get wristbands. Bang, we got into that one and partied there. That's where I saw Simon Black and Jonathan Brown.
I didn't see that picture you sent me of Brownie. Like that's how bad the stuff is
Reception.
at point. Like, I didn't get that picture until I got off the ferry yesterday
It
morning.
came up as like a weird thing, like
Yeah.
not a picture, but like a
Yeah, I could
file.
see that you'd sent me something when I woke up yesterday morning because I couldn't see that. So that was it. Like I think you sent that at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah,
So
we-
you're with Brownie and Brownie. Everyone's just
Yeah.
on it. And
Yeah,
it's-
Blackie was there as well.
Did you see Akka? Because Akka sent me a thing too.
Akka was sitting right near where I was, and we couldn't find each other, and we were texting during the game, but didn't see Akka.
Right. Well, he was definitely there.
Yeah. And then we switched to another pub where they had a private upstairs area, and was there till I think 3:30, and then went back to because I was rooming with Al. Just went back there and drank there.
Where were you staying?
W.
Is that
in the
right
city,
near? Is that,
CBD?
Everything's so close
Yeah.
down there.
I
Like
love
you could
that.
pick
We walk to the
any-
G.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
could
walk-
pick
yeah.
just about any
Yeah.
hotel in the
Yeah.
city and you'll walk
So
to the
good,
G.
hey?
There's one hotel though that is like sort of
On Jollymont Road.
Yeah.
Right there.
right opposite
Is it the Pullman?
MC. Yeah, the
Pullman overlooks the MCG. Yeah.
Correcto Mundo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that's a great place to stay.
Where was
You
the
go to
team?
G.
Were they at the Crown? They were at the Crown last year.
Crown?
I remember seeing a photo of that Cameron,
Charlie?
that Charlie Cameron posted with his boots. With you could see the G in the
Oh,
background.
yeah. So maybe it's the Pullman.
would that be the
I don't
Pullman?
know.
they were staying at
They're
the
at the Pullman
Yeah,
this
there
year.
you go.
Yeah, okay.
They were at the Pullman.
That's Nick.
Yeah, 'cause
Last-
I dropped in just to find a bathroom on the day before, and I see the team walking out for captain's run. I'm like, oh, there they are.
Yeah, okay. Last year I literally was like, where are the teams staying? And I will book that hotel. So I paid through the nose to stay at the Crown because I just wanted to be where they were.
Yeah,
Pretty
right.
cool.
Yeah, the Pullman. Well, I remember I went down years ago for Melbourne Storm played the North Queensland Cowboys in a prelim final or a final. I can't remember which, but it was when JT was playing, and we stayed at the Pullman. I was down there with Sid, and got up in the morning, and there's the Cowboys having brekkie in the. So
good.
I reckon that the teams might stay.
Well, it's the easiest one.
Yeah, it was so easy. Like you said, you go to the captain's run, you just walk across the
Yeah.
road.
What was that game at the G?
No, it was
Amy Park.
it was at Amy
Park,
Park, but that's
yeah.
close enough too. Yeah,
It's all more connected than I even remember it being.
Yeah.
Like when we went to that centerpiece where the post-match function was.
It's so easy.
And like we literally walked out of centerpiece. I'm like, shit, there's Rod Laver Arena right on
Yeah.
top of you. Like it's all close
So-
and not even remember
And Lutsy,
it.
don't forget that on top of that,
So good.
that's where
So
they,
good.
they have the
So
Grand
well.
Prix too.
Yeah, I know. So
the
well
Grand Prix
designed.
circuit is there.
And not to harp on, but we do have an opportunity to design some cool stuff.
Thank you, Kendall.
Okay?
Yes, I
I'm
know.
gunning for Vic Park. Let's actually build something that connects to everything.
Yes,
Anyway.
has to happen. Has to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's going there, but
Now I backed Lockie Neal for
yeah.
the Norm
For
Smith.
the Norm Smith.
I
I
thought he
got-
was going to win it.
Really?
I know nothing. I know nothing about
I thought
AFL.
Kai Lohman was going to get it.
yeah, I thought Kyle Oman was
Even
gonna go.
Cal Archie, who had a blinder last week.
Well, he
and
kicked
that just,
4 as
He
well.
kicked
didn't
It
he?
just could have been. It could 6 different players in the team. Could have been
Yeah.
any of them.
But Lockie could have been one of them.
Yeah.
30 35 touches in the end,
Definitely.
and he played this beautiful sort of sweeping quarterback role all day long, a lot more outside than he normally does.
Yeah.
But I had a beautiful view from level 4
Yeah, you
down
had a
the
good
down
spot.
the down the ground, so you could just sort of watch it like
Yeah,
almost
you're on a
strategically.
nice angle, but
Yeah.
you're higher than me.
Right
which is-
behind the goals,
you're
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
where
he-
we were last year. I reckon it was a good view.
Good
You can
spot.
actually see what's going on.
He's
You need to
like
see
a
that
ball
longitude.
magnet, isn't he? Like
Oh, it comes to his fingers as if it's attracted to him.
Yeah, it's like
just
the ball will just bounce, and it's like, oh, you know which way the ball bounces? Yeah, it'll bounce to wherever Lockie
Yeah.
Neal is.
yeah, well,
Like
to wherever his hands are, just goes straight in there.
Well, they talk about his like 1,000 touches he does a week with the footy, and you realise the speed that he does it and how easy he made it look yesterday.
Yeah.
You look at the footage and you go, that was incredibly hard to do.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was playing, with plantar fasciitis for the last 2 months, painkiller injections
I know.
every week.
I
I
think
think that-
has he been getting needled?
he has been getting
Yeah.
needled. Like even Fague said after the game that he would not have been out there without those injections.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all right. He's got a premiership and some time off to put the
Yeah.
foot up.
Absolutely.
I wonder what the go is now. Like they'll party on until they've got their. How long of a holiday do they get?
They will probably won't go back to training till maybe November. They'll go on like holiday, then they'll have their. Well, the footy players don't really get to holiday per se anymore. Like nowadays, they're such professionals that
I don't know. They went to Vegas last year.
they've got their running blocks. They've got everything that they have to do because they all want to get better. Like even young Ashcroft in his press conference afterwards says, "Yeah, I can't wait to start preseason
His
tomorrow."
work rate's insane,
He's different.
though. He is different. Yeah, he'll be exciting to watch in the years ahead.
And his little brother
And
is
is it-
coming,
I
Talk-
know.
who is
So-
supposed to be better.
I
Yeah,
reckon he's
better than
better,
Will.
right?
I know, just mental.
Like he would have gone
Ashcroft
number 1
gene.
draft, but because he's the father-son real
Yeah.
right, he probably
Yeah.
won't go.
No, it doesn't need to go number 1 because
Mm.
no one will. No, the Lions will match whatever bid.
The
Someone
good
puts
news
in.
is because Will's had that success at the Lions as well, and obviously father-son, like he's going to want to come play for us.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the lure of a Melbourne club is not going to cut it when we're premiers.
How does that father-son rule work if your father played for multiple clubs?
So you have to want to play 100 games for a club.
100 games, 100
And so
games. Wow.
Josh Dunkley, whose dad played for Sydney, he played in the 1996 grand final. Now, when he got drafted, the Swans didn't choose to take him. They didn't want to take him with the pick. The Bulldogs matched their pick. He goes to the Bulldogs, wins a premiership over there. So the Swans missed out on Dunkley, who was theirs to take.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
nuts.
Crazy.
How did Lockie end up? Didn't Port let Lockie go?
Oh.
Is that going to go down as one of the dumbest decisions in the history of?
No, Freo have made some bad choices over the years.
Is that who he was with Freo?
Yeah, so he won two best and fairest
They had
over
him.
there. They had him. He had two best and fairest. He was the sub in the 2013 grand final. And I think he was just looking for...
He was behind Nate Fyfe, wasn't he?
Yeah. And that Fyfe was at the peak of his powers there as well. So
Yeah.
he couldn't be the number one midfielder. This gave him the opportunity, and
Lockie's from Perth, isn't he?
he's South Australia.
Or Jules
Jules
from
is from Perth, yeah.
his wife. So they've got pretty strong ties
Yeah.
over there. So coming to Brisbane was like rogue
No,
for
Leap
them.
of faith, yeah.
No
No connections
family,
here, nothing.
like tough going.
And they started having kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So that family
Laid
becomes...
down roots, yeah.
It's their daughter's birthday today.
Oh, really?
Lockie and Jules' daughter, she turned 3.
Oh, there you go.
We get that beautiful crying photo out from earlier in the year. And when
that?
he carried his daughter off after
Yeah,
his milestone
she's
game,
screaming.
screaming. You guys took the photo a couple of days later with him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast. Nova. Hey, Josephina.
Oh, my
Smell
God.
every fart.
Give me a fright.
I guess everything's got to be tried for the first time at some stage.
Brisbane's Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill.
Like it looks legit.
6:03, Monday morning.
Well, where do we start?
Well.
Well, there's a little voice here that hasn't spoken yet.
Hello. Good morning.
Kendall Gilding's back.
Let's
Sue's on
let's see if
vacation.
I can keep the Karens happy.
What does that mean?
Is that your
I
plan?
don't know. Last time I was in, some woman just wrote on our social media, I don't know about that girl. I don't think she was very good or something. And I was like, I can see your message.
Don't read the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Rule number 1.
Well, I think
Kendall
keeps
gets off
you
on
humble.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They'll let you know. I was just saying to you off air, it looked like a huge day out at Springfield yesterday. I saw that you were out there
How'd you go
hosting
out?
the grand
Massive.
final
Yeah.
return.
Yeah, so they did a massive Queensland fan day at the end of the AFLW game. Awesome vibe out there. I quite like that stadium at Brighton Homes out at Springfield, but
The facilities
I've
look
been out.
yeah,
unbelievable.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But very clever because they did it at the end of an AFLW game and the girls had an absolutely nail-biting win over the Crows. Kicked a winning goal in the last minute. So the vibes were
crowd.
high across the board.
And then did they present
They presented
the
the
men's
yeah.
the premiers
Fresh off
to
the
the
plane.
crowd?
Fresh off the planes. They literally
were they?
touchdown came slow,
Oh, how good.
dusty.
Yeah, they went all night.
They did. Harris Andrews couldn't talk, so I was meant to interview like both co-captains, Lockie and Harris. Harris was like, I was like, okay, well we won't be chatting with you.
Well, that's what happens to you, Lutzi, after a big night out. Hey, look,
Yeah.
your voice will go.
Right, I did the same night. I'm getting a bit better at it.
I'm
I
surprised
was with
we
them
can
till-
hear you right now.
Yeah, it's me too actually.
He's a veteran, though.
But Jesus,
You went through the night?
yeah.
Yeah. How good. How good.
We went to 2 different bars. They sort of locked down 2 different bars for the team and everything.
Did they do an after party this year?
Well, I mean, there was I think someone that used to do the Swans one did one at some fancy joint
Okay.
in Bar Bambi or something. But we went to just the Union and the Oz. I don't even know. They're just pubs. But they were locked down. You know, the wristband. It's a situation. It was hard work.
I,
Getting into them all.
and I saw that one of the things they did great too was like former players, Akka, Brownie,
Oh,
yeah.
like all,
It was the best-
all of the players that were
dynasty
there
team,
back
yeah.
from
Yeah,
the
Brownie and Blakey.
the
were
last
both-
premiership.
It was great to see. I was going to catch up with Brownie, but just to see Blakey there,
Yeah.
enjoying it was pretty incredible as well. But no, it was amazing. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, let's
we'll
come
have
back and
more
chat about
Yeah,
it.
come back. Well done to the Lions.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Katy Perry I'm talking about. She is coming to Brizzy next year. Mitch will be out on the streets this morning after 7:30 with tickets.
What did you think of her performance?
Yeah, pretty epic. I don't know. Lutzi, you
Yeah,
were there.
live was amazing. I don't know how it sounded.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
And I thought they tried to visually make it look good if you were at home. Actually, I don't know if I liked the artificial intelligence. If you were at home, you would know this. But on
what was
TV, these weird arms came out of the ground and were swinging around the field, which is obviously just all kind of AI. And it was a bit
What do you
weird.
mean? It was,
What do you
it was-
mean
I wasn't
AI?
actually there. No, I'm serious. I don't. No,
Well, you wouldn't have seen it, would you?
I didn't see
No,
it. So I don't know what
yes,
you're
because
talking
you
about.
were there. That's fair. So,
So there
yes,
What was
there
it that they added to
they were
it?
just like graphics of like weird robotic arms, 4 of them. kind of around her, and they
okay.
maybe had love hearts. I reckon it was in one of her new songs, which was like very contentious between her and the AFL. They wanted her to play her back catalogue, just play the
course.
big hits.
Yes.
And she was like, "We are playing stuff from my new album I'm about to tour."
Did
but
she,
it was like
did she play a new song?
she did.
She did.
So I reckon maybe she did too.
I heard one that I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
That would have been it. I thought it was pretty generous of her, given, because we spoke about that she shared that song with
Yes, I thought it was-
Tina Arena.
Tina Arena, I know.
that
She
was
did. She
weird.
did a Tina Arena song, Chains.
Yeah, but Chains has had like a remix recently. Actually, it's pretty.
Yeah, that's what they
Banging,
did.
but-
It was a different sounding
Yes.
one to Chains.
But isn't that kind of the Aussie thing? It's like you want to win over an Aussie crowd, bring out an Australian. It's the John Farnham kind of effect.
But it's Tina Arena.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless her. But I mean,
Who are you hoping for? Kylie Minogue?
well, I reckon when you pay Katy Perry $5 million, I'm hoping for Katy Perry. Like, I don't understand why Katy Perry, being a $5 million super talent, would go, you know what? How about we drag one of your old ones out?
Yeah.
And I'll share the stage with her. I found that quite bizarre.
And I suppose Chains isn't exactly like a horse's kind of
No,
banger.
No, it's not
it
You're
ain't.
the Voice. Is it?
It's a good captain of the second 11, as we
Yeah.
say.
What song went off like in the stadium?
Probably Raw.
Yeah. Well, because that was
And
no
Oz
one
and the
thought she
Lions-
was allowed to sing it, and she did it
we
anyway.
thought maybe she'd say that the eye of the lion instead of the
Oh,
tiger,
yeah.
which she didn't do. But it still had a very Brisbane sort of
It did.
vibe about it.
I was reading just that on that $5 million price tag for Katy Perry that the AFL's first choice was actually the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
Really?
And they put an offer to the Stones. No, they didn't put an offer. The Stones said, we'll come down, we'll do 5 songs, but it's $20 million.
Jeez.
$20 million.
I don't know if that would go off after Kiss last year. You know.
You don't reckon? Oh, the Stones.
I don't know though. I thought Katy Perry's a good pivot for them.
I thought it was good. I thought it was
High
a good
energy, and she did do a good job.
Yeah.
choice. It looked great.
All right, what about the game itself? I'll tell you what was great was that it was over. So you could actually
When did you call it? Because I got an interesting point on
Well, we were all on those text messages, and I was one of those ones last year for the Broncos that I called it in the stadium when we were up by whatever.
Yeah,
so I was
high-fiving.
reluctant to do it this year, but by the same token, I was like, "There's no way. There's no way they're going to let this slip."
When?
Well, I felt by half time we had it in
Oh,
the
I did
can.
No, I didn't.
No,
think.
fourth quarter for me.
feel it
No way.
half time.
But it wasn't until probably 3/4 time
Yes.
that I went, okay, now we can't possibly lose it.
We just have a habit of kind of not playing fourth quarters, although through finals we've absolutely, like, fourth quarters is where we've shone, like against GWS and Geelong. But I was still, even going into that fourth quarter, I was like, we could lose this. Like, we
Yeah.
genuinely could. But the Swans just did not turn up.
They didn't even look like turning up.
No.
But we were waiting for them to turn up.
Yeah,
They're a
just
great
in
team.
case.
Like before 3/4 time,
Yeah.
I remember saying to Al, like, they can put 40 on us in a heartbeat.
Totally.
Like, they're the team that can do it. Then we went to the toilet. Me and Al went.
Well, that's
for
a
some
bad. That's
reason,
you
went-
knew
we
it was
went-
over.
Just before 3/4 time, we went to the toilet, and Mel Michael, the Lions superstar, ex-superstar, was literally at the urinal next to us in a packed toilet. And we went, Mel, can we call it yet? And Mel Michael went, we've got this, it's over. And the whole urinal went, Mel Michael, call that! And we all cheered. And at that point, I guess at 3/4 time,
Yeah.
It's
was
not
probably-
as satisfying of a win when it's a four.
After
I
last
think you'd
year.
take it
Yeah.
like, at that point.
Well, obviously you take.
I know, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather that than a
Just
close
that,
one.
like,
So
we
would
had
I actually-
such epic games.
Yeah.
The 2 games prior to that. I mean, look, the first quarter was actually intense, and I was like, "Thank God I bought a babysitter because I didn't want my children around.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Full
watch the
focus.
game
Yeah, okay.
uninterrupted." And I thought, it's so good I can do this. But then the rest of the game, you were like, oh, "Okay, could probably handle the kids here.
Yeah.
No stress."
Yeah,
I actually just enjoyed the relief of being
Yeah.
able to actually
Knowing we were taking it home.
without knowing it's going to be ripped off us at the last moment. Did you see I was saying to Lockie before the show, the footage of John Longmire, the Swans coach, in the press conference after the game? Have you seen that, Lutzy?
No.
We've got to find the audio, but it's the greatest example of the difference between winning a grand final and losing a grand final, because he had to come and front the media, sit down for his post-game press conference, but in the room next door was the Brisbane Lions dressing shed.
Oh, I can hear it.
And bleeding through.
You can actually hear them.
Yeah, bleeding through audio-wise. The whole of the press conference is the Brisbane Lions just yahooing and singing their songs and just an explosion of ecstatic happiness
But
coming
that was
through
us
from next
last
door.
year, right? Like,
Yeah.
that was us. And by 2 points. Like, Sydney lost that badly and they need to do some soul searching. Whereas last year it was like we lost it by a sniff of like
What was the margin last year? Was
2
it
points.
Yeah.
I've got a mate who's from America, and he was at the airport flying back, and he took a photo of the Sydney Swans players getting photos with the crowd. And he goes, only in Australia do you lose a grand final of like the biggest sport in the country and have to fly commercial with all the fans back to your city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not America. There's just
They
private
flew
planes.
there on a private jet, though. They
Not
actually
home.
flew to
They had to
Melbourne
hitchhike
on this
home.
fancy red.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Panthers Storm for the NRL Grand Final this Sunday night, and they've clearly been the two best teams
Yep.
this year.
Yeah, easily.
It's the Grand Final that the NRL probably deserves. But yeah, here's this audio from the AFL Grand Final on Saturday, where John Longmire's just lost. Clearly one of the lowest parts of his coaching career, and you can just hear the Brisbane Lions celebrating from next door.
Sorry?
Sorry, can I just say anything you'd like to
Well, I don't think we use our run enough.
How does that even happen?
Yeah, I know. It's the MCG. As long as there's a lack of space.
It's not
Yeah,
the Gabba.
True.
He's lost four out of 5 grand finals, right, Nick?
Yeah.
And I think he's lost the last 4. Was that
Yeah,
right?
he's lost his last 4.
And the other thing is, so not last year, but the year before, the Swans played Geelong, and same thing happened. They just got pumped. It was a crap grand final to watch because the Swans got obliterated.
Was that like 160 to
was that
40 or
that
something?
I don't think
It was 80 points.
80
Yeah.
points, yeah. It's huge.
So he's now kind of cemented himself as having a track record of. So it would have been very brutal for him.
We have reached out to Lockie Neal, by the way, to try and get him
Yeah, I
on
was
the show.
going to say.
Won't be today, I don't think. But probably later on in the week, hopefully.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
The tale of two teams. And the reason I say that
You've had
is-
to go into a poem?
yeah, a little bit. But it's the overwhelming thing from the spectators and the fans that were in Melbourne.
What was the crowd, by the way?
100,000.
It was 100,000.
17.
Wow.
Nick? Yep.
13, I think. Yep.
Yep. 100,000. But particularly at the aftermatch, the official Lions aftermatch function, which is obviously all Lions fans, the overwhelming there was still a bit of shock because it was only an hour after the end of the game kind of thing when it started. But we realised that, and I use this word obviously with perspective of sport, the word trauma. But there was a lot of trauma trauma was the word that we had trauma from last year. Like we had.
That's fair.
And for those that went, or not even if you went to the game, if you were just watching, a lot of people that were celebrating the Lions victory are also Brisbane Broncos fans. And the double trauma that people had last year, like I went to both games, and as a fan, it was a traumatic experience. That even sitting at the game, a lot of people were saying at the post-match function for the Lions, saying, "I just don't know what I would have done if we lost again this game." You're talking about the Swans, and that's a traumatic experience for a fan to come back and to have to sit through a loss of the MCG again. You start thinking, well, when do we get a win? Like, when's a win? Not even for the Lions. When's a win happen for Brisbane? Like the Broncos have, and then you go back and I know that the narrative of a team this year with Kevy Walters and with Chris Fagan is that last year's history. Let's move on, and it's a new game, it's a new team, it's a new whatever. But having said that, if fans are still feeling trauma, like the magnification of that to an athlete,
Of course.
how can you not possibly let the effects of a year ago impact your team for this year? Like, it's impossible for that to happen. And it happened. So the tale of two teams thing is that, okay, so when you look at the two teams, when you look at the Broncos and the Lions, although there's different circumstances surrounding both of them, they both had quite devastating losses. Like the Broncos, you would say, more devastating, the fact that they lost what was at one point with 18 minutes to go almost an unlosable grand final. But what's happened this year is that at some point, and both teams almost, it looked like, lost belief at one point in the season this year.
Looked like they lost belief.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both teams had troughs.
Had troughs.
Yep.
And at some point it became a seemingly impossible task. Like the Bronx, just duck dived and kept going. The Lions, I think, got to 13th, Nick, at one point of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we finished 5th on the ladder going into finals and played so much finals footy to get to the grand final.
Yeah,
so it's a pretty impressive...
Yeah.
It would be interesting to know what happens behind closed doors to galvanise the team. Apparently the Lions wrote down lessons learned last year and pulled them out into finals this year. Like, they physically, did a time capsule.
Yeah.
And this year we're like, all right, what did we learn? Let's go right back into that moment.
Yeah, and then therein lies the point again, that one team was able to raise themselves from, resurrect themselves from disaster.
Yep.
And one team was unable to do that.
And again, Chris Fagan said last year, grand finals, a loss doesn't have to define you, it can make you. It's like even in that loss last year, I reckon he knew we got it in us.
Yeah, and again, so there you go. So there's something within what happened there where even if the Lions at some point this year, and they had their troubles, there was talks of fractures within the team.
Yeah.
There was
Vegas.
off-field incidences in Las Vegas. They could have capitulated.
I wonder, are they going to Vegas this week?
Probably not.
I dare
I hope
say
so,
not.
because, it worked out well from in the end.
Well, exactly. It still worked.
The off-season celebration.
It still
as
worked.
A team.
So
But for the Broncos, it didn't work.
No.
For the Broncos, it went the complete opposite
Opposite.
way, and what became a celebration of team and a lauding of a coach literally became the capitulation of a team and the dumping of a coach.
Do you think there's more
And the
leaders?
tale of two teams that effectively 1 year ago were at a very, very similar standpoint.
Yep.
And two completely different trajectories.
I reckon you're right about leadership and even just that young group, right? So the Lions have a lot of young guys. They're name players. Like you've got Will Ashcroft, his dad played in the premiership team. You've got, but then you look at that in the Bronx and you're talking about
Young players.
young
players.
players.
Reece Walsh and Ezra Mam.
And the humility and kind of low level, just I'm happy to fly in under the wing of a Harris Andrews that you see at the Lions. Are you seeing that at the Bronx?
Yeah, well, that's the questions. There's a bunch of questions to get thrown up now.
Yeah. Yeah, but the reason that I said before, because both teams did appear to lose hope, but I don't think I'll forget when Lockie came in here when the Lions were struggling before they went on their big winning streak.
Yep.
And I don't even remember if the conversation was on air or off air, but he was adamant and so self-assured in the fact that we're right, we know what we need to do. We know what we need to do and that we still believe that we can do it. And at that point, if you had said the Brisbane Lions are going to win the premiership, I don't know what they got out to on the betting odds.
It almost seemed a little bit absurd what he was saying. It was almost like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You're battling and you're saying you're still hitting what do you say, your KPIs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
KPIs.
He used terms like that where you're
Yes.
going, we're still doing this, that, and that. I'm like, well, man, it ain't look like that on the field. It was almost seemed like you're being a little bit delusional, Lockie.
Yeah,
didn't it?
But
Like,
a
at that
tremendous
time.
amount of belief that they had, and then they went out there and they were able to execute it. And you can tell that Brisbane Lions squad, club, because the scenes with the girls after their win there yesterday, you can tell that is a club that has great culture.
Yeah.
Great culture and great respect, and to see guys like Brownie and Blackie and Mel Michael and Acker and all of the former champions be embraced and be welcomed back into that club. But not only that, the fact that they want to be at that club. Where I read in the paper this morning that Alfie is taking some time off to work out if he wants to run the water or not.
That'd be a huge
I'm
loss.
telling you, if Alfie doesn't want to run the having Alfie out there running the water for the Broncos. To me, as an old bloke, I go, I believe in the Broncos because I know that guy. I know what he's all about. I know what a champion he is. Yeah. And I know that every time that he played for the Broncos, he gave it everything. And if he doesn't want to be out there running the water, that's a warning sign for me. But you're right, there's two teams in a similar position 12 months ago who responded completely differently this year.
Huge weekend at both teams, like the news of Kevy and then
a
premiership on a Saturday.
I'm still coming to terms with the Kevy sack.
Yeah.
The Ash, Lutzi and Suze O'Neill podcast.
Hey, it's Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia Trivia.
Yeah, these are pretty big tickets considering Olivia Rodrigo not coming to Brizzy. So Brisbane-based Olivia Rodrigo fans have to travel to Melbourne or to Sydney, and we're going to make that easier for you by doing it for free.
Okay, now Sarah out of Cannon Hill. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, who's that in the background we can hear?
It's my daughter, Tiana.
Okay, so you're playing for... Is Kiana like the huge Olivia fan?
She sure is. Yes, she's been waiting since 6 o'clock this morning to ring. So.
Nice.
Well, she can help you out too. We
Yes,
encourage that. Like if Kiana knows the answers, she can
Yeah.
blurt them out and help you out. You need to get 2 out of the 3 questions correct.
All right, fingers crossed.
All right.
No.
They're tough. They're tough. All right, let's go for question 1. Finish these Olivia Rodrigo lyrics from Deja Vu. So when you're going to tell her that we did that too?
Maybe do it again.
Do you think it's special? I'm pretty sure. She's trying to sing it in
No,
her head here.
I'm loving that singing. That's good. That's right. She thinks it's special.
Nice.
I've been listening to it on repeat.
Oh,
It gets
beautiful.
played on repeat a lot in my house.
Good.
Yep.
Well, it's
On the TV,
All
All right.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you just need 1 of the next 2 questions.
Here we go. Which continent is the Guts World Tour currently in?
Whereabouts is it at the moment?
I think it should be in
Asia?
That is correct.
well done. Teamwork.
In Bangkok.
I thought we were going to be watching all this about it.
That was so worth getting
Well
up
said.
early for.
Yeah.
Definitely worth waking up at crack of dawn, definitely.
I've got no idea what you're
Jumping
saying.
up and down.
Should we try...
Thank you so
Two
much.
people
You are
off
in the
line
draw,
phone.
so Friday you could be calling you back to win this trip down to Sydney. So should we see if you can get 3 from 3?
Would love to.
All right, Kendall, ask the
We're
final
going to
question.
throw the third question at you. What star sign is Olivia?
Oh, star sign.
I
Oh,
think I know this.
I'm no good at star signs.
I think I know this.
Go
Oh,
on.
Tiana, she knows it.
She's born in February.
She's
right?
born in February. So is she Capricorn? No. Oh,
Don't ask me. I know nothing about star signs.
Pisces. She's Pisces.
Yes,
She's
she
a
is
Pisces.
Pisces.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, how good is Kiana?
I know it because she was born in February.
Fair. I love what they're teaching 11-year-olds nowadays.
To explain how they know things as well. I know that because she has a reason why she knows it.
Yeah, Sarah,
yeah, she knows the date of birth, but
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm scared.
well, this
But,
is
thank you so much.
Thursday
You've
the
made one very, very
17th.
excited.
Yeah, you keep going. Thursday, the 17th of October in Sydney. You could be headed down there with your daughter. Congratulations, Sarah. Well done.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
This is pure chaos, and I'm here for it. Mitch on the street, speaking of live performances, someone who is coming to Brizzy, she's also just announced that she's extending a tour to South Australia. I'm talking about Katy Perry.
Oh, yes.
If
Is that the
you-
Gabba?
Brisbane Entertainment Centre. That's,
Tencent.
Mitch is out at the Gabba celebrating all things the Lions.
Oh, right. So on the board it says Katy Perry tickets at the Gabba.
I mean, maybe about 10 years ago she could have probably filled the Gabba.
Yeah, okay.
But she's on her way back.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
My social media algorithm over the weekend especially, or in fact since I got back from New York, because I was in New York when P. Diddy, Puff, whatever his name is.
yeah.
I feel so good, by the way, now that I don't care if I get his name wrong.
Yeah.
It used to be
Which
one of those ones
iteration?
I go, oh, Diddy, and they go, it's Puff Diddy, or it's
Yeah.
Puff.
Yeah.
It's whoever now. But I was in New York when he actually got arrested. In fact, he was in Central Park, and I was around Central Park. I was like, I wonder if we were close, like when he was, when he was actually taken into custody. But my algorithm now is just blowing up with all of the Diddy stuff and the charges that he's facing. And we had David Woodward on the show last week from Channel 7 to tell us about that. There's serious, serious allegations that he's been charged with, and he faces a lengthy time in prison. But one of the guys that I've really got into is 50 Cent, because 50 Cent he's been at war with Eminem for like 20 years. And now a lot of what 50 Cent has been saying for 20 years is starting to ring true. And 50 Cent is one of those sort of unique characters that he'd be a terrible guy to not have on your side, because he's kind of he's quirky, he's kind of funny, but he's 50 Cent, and he'll bring it. And one of the casing points for that is Ja Rule, because 50 Cent used to have a big dispute. When they first came onto the scene as rappers, there was a guy called Ja Rule. Have you heard of him?
You're saying it like I don't know who it is. Of course I do.
Oh, this is Ja Rule.
What a banger.
So Ja Rule, back in the day, he was coming through, so was 50 Cent, and I don't know what the dispute was, but it got ugly between the two. And then evidently Ja Rule ended up spending some time in jail.
They're all gangsters, right?
Yeah.
Like full on.
His career nosedived, and when Ja Rule came out of prison and tried to get his career back on track, he had a concert that a comeback concert. Do you remember this?
I've seen this. Yeah.
He had a comeback concert, and so put tickets up. Ja Rule, he's back. He's back, and tickets started selling like unbelievably quick for this Ja Rule comeback concert. And then all of a sudden it was sold out, and you can actually watch vision of this. But unbeknownst to Ja Rule, like I think it was like the first 10 rows of the venue, 50 Cent bought every ticket. So Ja Rule had to come out.
There's no one there.
And it's an empty stadium. And still perform as if it was a packed house, doing all the Ja Rule stuff. Well, the news in relation to 50 Cent is that evidently, with Diddy rather, whatever his name is, he's in lockup at the moment, is 50 Cent has been working on a documentary on Puff for the last 10 years.
What?
And over the weekend, they announced that it is going to be on Netflix. I think it's coming out towards the end of this year. A documentary that Fiddy has been the executive producer of and coordinated. That's been 10 years in the
full expose
in the making, full expose on what is going on with Diddy, and the name of it is Diddy Do It.
I think you've answered the question. They're not friends.
Oh no, no.
Holy.
Eminem has a song where he has a crack at Diddy.
Apparently there's heaps of them.
They're so many essays, which is sexual assaults.
Yeah.
You think you're a rapper? Did you leave out the P or something?
Yeah. He didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out.
So this is the thing. It's like there's been all these clues for years.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, if you didn't, I've been oblivious to it, but they've known that he's been shady.
The whole time.
Wow.
Yeah, so anyway, that's one to keep an eye out for. As soon as the trailer comes out for that, we'll play the audio, but apparently that's coming to Netflix by the end of this year.
That's a vendetta. 10 years. He's like, I will keep going at this for a decade. Yes. And then he's like, finally he's in jail. Let's release this thing.
Netflix.
The Ash, Lutzi and Suse O'Neill podcast. Ash, Lutzi and Suse O'Neill on Nova.
7:32 this Monday morning, looking pretty nice right now. There is talk of showers a bit later though, top of 29 degrees. $400 when we play Smarter Than Suse for the first time this morning, 8 o'clock because when we'll do that, and then 8:30 this morning. We've got our first invites to our Halloween cruise on the Oasis.
Nice. Now, Kendall, I see that Lockie Neal was at the function yesterday, or the Welcome Home Parade that you emceed.
He
at
was,
Springfield,
yeah.
And he was in a moon boot.
Well, he must have taken it off before he came in for the crowds. He had a sock and no shoe, but he was on crutches. And he had to be put on a stool while we were out on the balcony doing the greetings for all the fans. He actually got perched up on a stool so he didn't have to stand.
So what happened to him?
Well, apparently he's been nursing a heel injury all of finals.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer than that.
Playing
and then,
injured for a long
weeks,
period of time. Yeah.
Months possibly. Yeah. And apparently after the game, Buzz, you were saying he said he heard something snap.
Yeah, he said in the post-game interview with Channel 7 that he heard something snap. He came off. I don't know if you remember. He came off in that fourth quarter and then came back on despite the snap in his foot.
Yep.
So it could be anything.
Well, he got needled in that time.
Yeah.
Who knows? Was there anybody at the parade yesterday, any of the players who hadn't taken their gear off, that was still in their playing uniforms?
Gosh, I didn't pay enough attention.
We've seen that a bit over the last couple of years.
Probably.
Still in their playing jerseys, still got their footy socks on.
They kind of all had to wear.
Shower.
No, they kind of have to wear their casual uniform.
Okay.
So they're in polos and.
Well, I saw that they were wearing, all of them wearing white button-ups.
Yeah, after party.
Well, that was the after party with their Guernsey over the top.
Yeah.
Or a fresh one.
That's true, actually. Out, they had their either their playing jersey or a fresh numbered jersey on over
Which was a bit of a
white thing.
weird look, I'll be honest. I was like, what's that all about?
Yeah.
A white button-up shirt. Like they're in a business shirt with that pulled over the top. Anyway, that's fine.
Yeah.
Fashion police.
Well, you get away with whatever you want. I like but there's always that one guy that like stays in their playing gear and goes, I'm never taking this off.
I mean,
They've
look,
still got the strapping on. It's Tuesday afternoon.
Like days
they had a
later.
massive day yesterday because they get rolled out at Fitzroy in the morning and then they've boarded a flight. They've come straight out to Brighton Homes and like any of them that I hugged, all of them said the same thing. So I probably stink really badly.
Yeah.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
The Prince is on. The Prince is on. The Prince is on. Ooh, he's on the streets. Woo! Woo! The Prince is on.
Strong.
There he is, Mitchell, out at the Gabba. Got
Felt good.
Katy Perry
Yep.
tickets.
Yeah, and that had a real good feel about it. That was like a post-grand final bell there, Ash. Well done there. And, busy on down here. Obviously, it's business time. It's Monday morning. But if you are going past the Gabba, on the corner of Stanley and Main here, that's where I'm positioned. Right underneath gate 2.
Give him
with
the
a beautiful
horn.
LED.
Have you seen
Yeah,
Mitch
give us
out
the
there?
horn. Yeah, honk your horn for the Lions after the premiership win on Saturday. And they've got a giant sign out here. Brisbane Lions 2024 AFL Premiers. Congratulations from the Gabba. A giant LED screen with a picture of the 2024 Premiership Cup trophy. So it is looking absolutely amazing down here. But we're just tying in the Gabba nature, being a home of AFL here in Queensland, the home of the Brisbane Lions. Of course, who played the other day? Katy Perry pre-game the other day. Pretty good show there. Obviously, we watched it at home. Lutzi, you were watching it down there at the ground. Good reports on the ground and at home, and she is back. The Lifetimes Tour, presented by Snaffle, coming to the Brisbane Entertainment Centre June 17th and June 18th. It will be 7 years since she's been in Brisbane. That was her last tour. The Witness Tour, which hit the Entertainment Centre back in August 2018. And if you want to be there, I was going to say come and find me. Like I said, the corner of Stanley and Main, but there's someone walking towards me a little bit nervous. You are here for the Katy Perry tickets, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations. Hi, what's your name?
Therese.
That's right. And who we got here?
Annie.
Therese and Annie. So, Katy Perry fans, yes, you watched the show on the weekend?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we went to her last concert.
Oh, you were at the last concert as well? Witness,
Nice.
yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And obviously keen to make it a double and go next year to the new one?
That would be
Lifetimes,
amazing.
brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, well, double pass. You guys going next year, June, hitting the Entertainment Centre. So thanks for tracking us down. Beautiful. And here we go. So we're celebrating all things. We've got the Premiership trophy behind me. We've got Katy Perry tickets going off. And it all hits the Brisbane Entertainment Centre next June and 17th and 18th. You get your tickets this Friday, October 4 at Ticket Tech. So you guys have got some of the first tickets in town.
So cool. Thank you.
No worries.
Good on you, Mitch.
Oh, good feeling in Brisbane here, guys. Lions,
wouldn't
Katy
it?
Perry, concerts all over the place. Woo! Let's go.
good.
Play
He's
on.
on. Mitch is on.
He's on!
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I just want to send a shout out to Ben Dobbin, who's a colleague of the Brisbane media circles up here. And
what happened?
The news that he nearly broke his neck, or he did break his neck, and at any rate has been in hospital. He went for a ride on his push bike, and apparently he was on his bike and a snake jumped out of somewhere or was on the road, and he tried to swerve to miss the snake, and he's come off his bike and went to hospital with a broken neck. My twin brother Luke, is really good mates with Dobbo because they've worked together. And Luke was up at the hospital with him over the weekend and said there was a time there where they thought that he may have lost his voice.
Oh,
that his all of his vocal cords.
He's a broadcaster.
were under threat, but that hasn't happened, and Dobbo has come good. But yeah, just want to send him a shout out and wish him all the best for a speedy recovery.
didn't Luke say the first words you heard him say was like, what about Kevy?
Yes. Luke reckons that
Vocal cords are fine.
Yeah, Luke reckons he's come out, he's walked up, and Dobbo's first words were, "What about Kevy?" And the other thing that happened, Luke watched the grand final up at the hospital with Dobbo.
Yeah.
The AFL grand final, and about an hour after the grand final, he got a text message saying, "Hey, just heard the news. Hope everything is okay," from Lachie Neale.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
Really?
Now, how classy is that?
Why does that
Yeah.
not surprise
Yes.
anyone?
Yeah. So all the best, Dobbo.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Hey, Josephina.
Oh, my
smell every fart.
Give you fright.
I guess everything's got to be tried for the first time at some stage.
Brisbane's Ash, Lutzi, and Susie O'Neill.
Like it looks legit.
Yeah, first invite to our Halloween cruise on board Oasis, Brisbane's luxurious floating vessel down the Brisbane River. Dress up, free food, drinks, entertainment. Head to the Nova Player app and register. We'll have our first call back 8:30 this morning.
Any sort of spooky surprises on board?
Could be.
Hey?
Yeah.
Ash is going as Diddy, which I think is pretty dangerous territory.
That's how I roll, mate. That's how I roll.
Thank you, Nick.
The Ash, Lutzi, and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I'm smarter than Suse.
Brighton homes include aircon, flooring, steel frames and solar as standard. You don't need to be smarter than Suse to discover why it's better with Brighton.
All right, Naomi, out at Morayfield. Hello.
Good morning.
How you going? This is first performance for you.
Yeah.
She's on debut.
On debut. And it says here that you had your 17-year-old went to the GF on the weekend on her own. Went down to Melbourne.
Yeah, absolute legend. Imagine being that cool at 17.
That is pretty cool.
Amazing.
Unreal. Well, let's see if we can keep the winning streak going. $400 we're playing for, and you've got the chance of also winning a BYD Atto 3 at the end of the year. All right, let's go. 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. What paper size is bigger, A4 or A5?
A4.
Which rapper will be performing at next year's Super Bowl?
Don't know.
Who did Muhammad Ali fight in the Rumble in the Jungle?
Don't know.
If you went swimming off the coast of Queensland, what ocean would you be in?
Pacific.
Spell spaghetti.
SPAGHETTI.
Stop the clock. You came home strong. You finished with some time on the clock. How much, Buzz?
3 seconds left for you, Naomi.
3 seconds.
That's better than none.
It is.
Yeah, I was worried at the start there, Naomi, but you've posted a competitive total. Let's see if it'll be enough. Bring in the game.
Bring in
Cordial.
the game. Bring in the game. Bring in the game. Yeah, 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 yeah. Susie O'Neill, hold the phone, Freddie. Susie O'Neill, it will be a miracle. You won't see anything like that again this year.
Righto, let's see how Suze went.
30 seconds on the clock, and your time starts now. What paper size is bigger, A4 or A5?
A4.
Which rapper will be performing at next year's Super Bowl?
Eminem.
Who did Muhammad Ali fight in the Rumble of the Jungle?
I don't know.
If you went swimming off the coast of Queensland, what ocean would you be in?
Pacific.
Spell spaghetti.
SPAGHETTI.
Stop the clock. Double Tuco and hold it for
Take.
Don't mind.
Yeah.
Woo! What paper size is bigger, A4 or A5? Now, I don't know the answer to this. I've got the answer here in front of me.
It is A4.
I would have said A5 because it's a bigger number.
No.
It goes the other way.
Yeah.
It goes the other way.
For
and
whatever stupid reason.
you both said A4, so it's 1-1. No pantsing today. Which rapper will be performing at next year's Super Bowl? Naomi, you said I don't know. Sue said Eminem. Both wrong. It's Kendrick Lamar.
I didn't know that. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. And did he perform the last time? Has he performed at a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Like last time they had
I think
all
he
the
did
rappers?
one song, though.
Yeah, he came on and did
Didn't do
one.
many.
With someone.
Yeah,
With
remember
Usher, I
they
think.
had a fair few of them
Yeah,
come
with
out?
Usher. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Whatever
I think
it was.
Usher was last year.
Anyway, it's 1-1, and we go to question 3. Muhammad Ali, Rumble in the Jungle, up against who? You both said, I don't know. It was George Foreman.
Yeah.
That's 1-1. Question 4. If you went swimming off the coast of Queensland, you would be in the Pacific Ocean. You both got that. And then, speaking of Eminem,
Mom spaghetti.
how do you spell it? SPAGHETTI. You both got that. 3-all draw. Naomi had 3 seconds on the clock. Over to Buzz.
Susie had 4.
Oh,
The narrowest of
Yep.
You're not the first. You won't be the last.
Oh, well,
She's very
some
good.
points are better than none. I'm stoked with that.
Yeah,
That'll do.
You haven't embarrassed yourself.
Exactly.
We can go to the cave.
Well, this 17-year-old daughter of yours is sporty. I reckon she'll love Kingston Park Raceway. So a family pass these holidays, Kingston Park
Nice.
Raceway. Buy any 3 car rides and get 1 extra race free. Race at Kingston Race, kingstonpark.com.au. So a family pass for that. And I'll tell you what, I'll also give you a family pass to this spooky putt-putt at Victoria Park. Apparently that's been great.
Cool.
Mitch was there last week, so you'll love that as well. So a family pass to see spooky putt-putt at Victoria Park. Enjoy!
Thank you so much.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I was over at Point Lookout for the grand final on the weekend, and I was really grateful because Jode had been over there for the whole week, school holidays, and saying, the weather's been perfect. Apparently it was just like perfect weather Monday to Friday. And then literally I got on that ferry on Friday afternoon. And it wasn't just raining, but it was like, it was a rain event over the weekend. Well. Oh, you should see the swell. Yeah. It was insane. But I was actually really happy because I didn't want to do much on the Saturday anyway. I was happy to sort of stay inside. I wanted to watch the AFL Grand Final. It's really the only AFL match, if I'm being honest, that I watch from start to finish.
I just want to say I appreciate that honesty from you, Ash.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'll check in on games through the year, watch a little bit here, watch a little bit there. But the AFL game, it's like horse racing for me too. You know, I'm not into horse racing, but I get into the Melbourne Cup, and so I was happy that the rain came. But we had to stream it on the TV because I don't know if it was weather related or whatever, but for whatever reason, when we went through the normal TV process, it'd blank out all the time. So we streamed it. The Wi-Fi was working, and I've just seen that the ratings have come in for the AFL Grand Final on the weekend, and it's pretty interesting stats.
Just quickly,
here.
so you streamed it through 7, not like KO?
I streamed it through 7.
Yeah, because it's the
Plus.
first time
7
7 haven't had the rights for streaming. Like you couldn't watch every AFL game on 7 on their streaming platform. You had to have KO, but this is part of their new thing. So this was one of those games you could get no matter where you were on the app. Sorry, keep going.
Okay, yeah, well that's interesting. With the stat that I'll give you. But first of all, the grand final over the weekend is the most watched television show of this year.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
It's gone straight to number 1. It had a total TV audience of 4.024 million.
Yeah.
Which includes 655,000 on 7+ Sport. I was one of them, and that is up 44%.
Video on demand.
On last year.
Yeah, no surprise.
It's up 44% from 12 months ago. So, like, for me personally, if I had been back at home on the coast, I probably would have watched it in the traditional format.
Yeah.
But more people, 44% more, have changed their TV watching habits in the last 12 months to go to streaming. As opposed to the traditional delivery mechanism.
Plenty of people watch at home but use the app though.
Well,
so you watch it on your TV, but you're going through 7 Plus, right?
Yeah.
Well, because some people don't get good. Like sometimes 7 might not work, like your aerial or whatever. I ended up.
That was the case at Point
Yeah.
I don't think in my bedroom I can't. I just have to watch 7 Plus. I don't know how to get the free to air.
Well, I ended up on the Plus app because we lost power at my house sort of just after the fourth quarter started.
Did you?
Yeah, we literally had a blackout because of the fallen power line.
In the middle of a grand final?
Yeah, so I ended
up... Oh, my God.
Was there, were people rioting in the streets in your
neighborhood? Well, people on the community, the Rochdale community page, people going nuts. But I ended up watching it with my son Harrison just on my phone on the 7 Plus app just to... At the last quarter, and it was because the Wi-Fi was also going in and out as well, so it was like all grainy and stuff. But we ended up watching, and it was a godsend in the end having that. And I got to say, signing up for the app was really easy. I was like, when I downloaded it, I was like, oh, this is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, the app's free, right?
It is. This is their big push. Like you saw their fancy ad with. Did you see Shannon Knoll singing What About Free?
Oh, is that
Have you seen that?
I did see that. I didn't put 2 and 2 together that that's what it was. Yes.
So it's him saying, What About Free? And it's them saying that cricket is free on the app this summer as well.
Okay.
So that's new.
So that's the 7 app that song's for.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
So
just
Seven's on a big push about sport remaining on free to air.
Okay, and the AFL Grand Final now accounts for 2 of the top 3 programs so far in 2024. The Grand Final at number 1, and then the AFL Grand Final presentations at number 3. But it's all the same.
Oh, it is the same.
Isn't it?
That doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
What's number 2? Doesn't
Origin?
say.
Well, it actually doesn't.
I would
say,
be interested to know how
which
those
makes me think
numbers
it'd be Origin 'cause it's a
compare
7.
to the Matildas last year. Because that was the
That was the
highest
biggest
rated
ever.
show last year and potentially ever.
Yes.
So I'd be very
Sport.
interested to see. No, yeah, not even sport.
Was
just
it?
just in
No,
Australia,
biggest
the
moment.
biggest televised moment in Australian history.
Most watched, and correct
Was
me
it
if I'm
nine?
wrong,
How
and
many?
I can't remember if the Matildas surpassed
Bigger than
Kathy
Kathy.
Freeman's run in the 400, or who's got. But I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I thought they did.
That our top 2 most watched TV moments ever, are both sport, and B, both female sport.
Oh,
They definitely
preach,
are.
preach this, Ash. Can you?
I think honestly that we could be the only country in the world that has that as a record. Like that. I mean, I'm completely just making that up, but I can't imagine the most watched television events in our nation's history. The top 2 are both female sporting events. I'm pretty sure.
So the Matildas semi-final against England smashed TV rating records. It's saying 11 million Australians
Holy hoo!
tuned in to watch the game on the 7 network.
Wow.
But then it's like, is that people? Is that rating boxes? Is that actual?
I don't know.
And Kathy's
number 2.
So there you
Okay, there you go.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast. Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill on Nova.
8:34 Monday morning. Welcome to it. Ash Lutzi and Susie O'Neill. $500 cash up for grabs when we play the second of 2 Smarter Than Suses this morning. We play every morning at 8 and 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. Smarter Than Suze. $500 up for grabs. We kicked this off on Friday, our Halloween cruise on the Brisbane River on Oasis.
I haven't put any thought into my costume for
No, got to get thinking.
for this cruise, but I will start thinking about it. I'm definitely not going as Diddy, like you suggested.
Probably a wise choice, mate. You did teach me
so.
saying this.
I'm definitely in the 50 Cent Eminem camp when it comes to that.
Oh, that's
I've
big
made
of you.
up
I think
my
that's
mind.
Geez, going out on a limb there, aren't you?
Whoa, controversial.
Well, I call
Not
it
a
as
Diddy
I
fan.
I call it as I see it, mate.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Press play. Get ready for the ultimate Halloween party on the Brisbane River. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill's Halloween cruise on Oasis. Your ultimate weekend escape on the Brisbane River.
Yeah, we're mixing Halloween with Lux. This is a party boat like no other, cruising down the Brown Snake.
Yeah.
Living it up, 3 stories, Oasis is. It's going to be fun.
Good thing is boarding 6 o'clock, so you're going to see the river at its best at night time.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get the twilight, won't you, as well?
Yeah. Which is
At that
actually a
time,
good
yeah.
point, because it sort of, because it sort of sets over the river. Very good point you make, buddy.
Brooke out of Griffin. Yes, Brooke. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
And it says here you'd like to come along with your friend, Cass, because Cass is about to take off to the UK for a couple of years. So this would be like a swan song, sort of final night out type deal?
Yes,
is that what you're thinking?
so trying to get in as many nights out as we can before she leaves at the end of the year.
I do like the costumes. It's very clever.
Yes, this is a great suggestion.
Yeah.
What's your costume?
I said that I would come as the cost of living crisis.
The most frightening thing of
It
all.
is terrifying.
Talk us through how that costume might look.
Yeah.
I have a few ideas. It could go one of 2 ways, I suppose. It could either be very scarce because everyone's
Yep.
struggling with money right now. But I do like crafting, so I'm going to come up with something a little bit clever.
You could do the Lady Gaga meat dress.
Well, that's too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who can afford beef?
Yeah, not right now.
It has to be in Devon.
Yeah.
Like,
You can't have 42 eye fillets right now. That's like $8,000.
Minute steak.
That's
that's
an
great,
idea.
though.
There you go.
We also asked the people who are registering for a song that we can add to our playlist on the night. What was your one, Brooke?
What? Sorry, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
What
sorry,
song-
I'm working from home. My reception's not very good.
Oh, okay.
Your receptionist? Oh, your receptionist.
You said your receptionist.
I wish I had a receptionist. I said the time warp.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It's got a bit of a Halloween theme about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah, I could see this working.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming under the Story Bridge.
Yeah.
This would be- Oh, yeah.
Jump to the starboard.
Well, you are officially our first people invited. Brooke, congratulations.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Can't
much.
wait
There
to
we
see
go.
your costume.
Yeah.
Or no costume.
We'll see you on the 31st of October. If you want to head along as well, this is going to be a huge night. Money can't buy. Head to the Nova Player app and register. Or, alternatively, be listening to Mitch tomorrow morning after 5:30. He'll have your next chance to win. We've got $500 cash up for grabs when we play Smarter Than Suse the second time this morning at 9 a.m. We'll get to that in a few minutes.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I see that Oasis, now we've been talking about Oasis, they've got their comeback gigs next year.
Not the boat.
Oh, right, yes.
No, the
not the
band.
boat.
I'm talking about Liam,
Not the
Noel.
boat.
Yeah.
Yep.
They've got their tour next year. I tried to get tickets for the Wembley concert. Missed out on that. I was like 170,000th in line, and then 6 hours later I was under 100,000, but I fell asleep, so I missed out the tickets.
It hasn't turned you off, that whole poor performance that he put in at the wherever he played.
Before the heavyweight boxing.
Some are suggesting no one's actually heard them sing for a few years. There's a chance they'll come out and they're bloody awful.
They've got time to sort it out.
They do. I reckon.
But if you lose your voice, you
they'll
lose
get
your
it
voice.
together.
You know what I mean?
Isn't that just what? Don't you just lip sync?
No, those boys.
I'm just saying, if you've got no voice,
Well,
they'll
maybe,
be
but
right.
just imagine if they come out and lip sync.
Listen.
It'd be even worse.
No, they
You'd
won't
do
that.
anything for money, okay?
No.
Well, I would.
Well, this money's been on the table for a lot of years.
I know,
It's
which
taken
is-
them to before they've been able to get it together.
Why are they so desperate suddenly?
I don't know. Well, I reckon that it's just what's that?
They've got. Have they run out of money?
No, I don't think so.
I think they have. Something's gone wrong.
Well,
Touring's the best way to make cash.
yeah, well,
It's
it's
the only way.
Oh,
It's the
loving
only
this
way to
from
make
you
it.
three.
Well, anyway, the good news is for me is that they've announced that it's going to be a world tour, which is what we kind of heard like right from the start. They stand by that they could be coming to Australia, and but they're not coming, of course, to
they're
where?
not.
Where wouldn't they?
Adelaide.
Yes, correct.
And
They're not going to
Brisbane.
Adelaide.
And
Brisbane.
Brisbane is the new Adelaide
Did
at the
they
moment.
get
as
their-
far
Sad,
as
isn't it?
music.
Did they get their tour from Taylor Swift?
Well, of course they did.
Yeah.
Exactly what's
Send us-
happening.
Send us your plan, Taylor. We'll follow where you went.
Well, that's what's happening though.
Sydney and
I'll tell
Melbourne.
you, and the big
Is that what
ones are-
Taylor did, by the way?
Yep.
Did she
That's
do
it.
Sydney and Melbourne?
Yeah,
That's what Oasis
multiple
are doing.
shows in each city, though.
That's exactly the point. Brisbane's off the grid because we can't field a crowd big enough to get these big superstars.
Yeah.
So we're just off the grid.
They're going to Boston, LA, Mexico, Seoul, Tokyo, Melbourne, and Sydney.
2 Australia shows.
2 Australia
and all
shows,
those
and they're
other
also
one
playing-
American show.
Sorry, Chicago as
Okay.
well, New Jersey,
Oh, okay.
which and also Toronto in Canada.
But not many. That's only 2 in America.
Yeah,
So they're doing as many
Yeah.
here as America.
yeah. So everyone that if you've missed out, like me, stand by because an announcement is expected to come in the next week or so, vis-a-vis apropos tickets, etc., etc.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
I'm smarter than Suse.
Brighton homes include aircon, flooring, steel frames, and solar as standard. You don't need to be smarter than Suse to discover why it's better with Brighton.
Veronica out of the Grange.
Veronica.
Good morning. Oh, I love that song.
I'm looking.
Which one is it?
Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello, Buzzman?
What do you want?
I don't know it.
Nah, not in the system.
know.
Not even in
You
Adelaide.
said Veronica.
Turn your mic off.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
That's
What'd
what
you say?
I got you. I got you.
My headphones are working. I just said who's on the pots and pans, so I can get a bit of that.
Millsy,
Yeah,
can
I
you
wanna-
get us some? Who sings it?
Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello. We'll wrap the show up with it.
Hey, Veronica's got a day off. She's a hairdresser. It says here that did you do Suze's hair for Suze's wedding back in the day?
No, I wish I did. I wish I did.
But but one morning I went into work and I was telling one of my owner and her friend, they were there, and that I said I listen to Nova all the time in the morning. I love listening to you guys. And Ali piped up and said, Greg, which was their bosses back in the days, and the two girls were apprentices, they did Suze's hair.
Well, you're out of luck, Veronica, because I'm on today. Sorry.
And we're out of
That's all right.
time. So...
Come into our salon now. We'll do your hair.
Oh, look, I am a local. You're in Grange. I'm in Gordon Park. I'll pop over today. Oh, no, you shut.
Yeah.
Shut today.
Oh, no, my boss is there. Pop in and say hello.
Is that Shane?
What was that?
What's
Steve.
your, Greg?
I missed it earlier in the story.
What's your boss's name?
My boss is Anita.
And what haircut did Suse go for?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I can tell you.
But they did. But listen.
The same one she's got today.
This is a little bit of a goss, though. They did say that Suse wanted gyp softener in her hair, and Greg talked her out of it.
She wanted what?
Gyp softener? What?
Yeah, it's a type of little white flowers that they were quite popular back in the days, but not so much now.
What's it called? Chip softener. What?
Gyp softener. It's little white flowers. Like you get a little bunch and they're tiny, tiny, tiny little white flowers.
Yeah. Make a note of this. Next week at some stage, I'm going to say, I'll say something about, you know what I think someone needs? They need Jif softener in their hair. And I'll just drop it and we'll see if Suse goes,
I wanted that.
Yeah, Lockie or Alicia, write that down.
All right, someone make a...
Yes, she just might.
Yes, make a note of that. Jif softener.
Gyp softener.
Gyp softener. Someone write that down.
You've got
please.
a week to work it out.
Yeah, Mark. I'm going to say that. You know what?
Do I get an extra couple of seconds for
No,
that?
we've actually run out of time for the segment.
All right, let's go. It's 9:09 in the morning, for crying out loud. Let's go. Veronica, 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. In the NATO phonetic alphabet, what word represents the letter F?
F, Freddie.
Who played Elvis in the 2022 Baz Luhrmann movie biopic?
No idea. Don't know.
In what year did the Chernobyl power plant explode?
1984.
What is the fastest land mammal?
Cheetah.
The Pythagoras theorem is associated with what shape?
The square brackets.
Stop clock.
I don't know.
It's
interesting shape.
I don't know.
The square brackets.
Yes, there are square brackets. I'm sure about it.
You are fun, Veronica.
All right. Did Veronica go the distance?
Yeah.
Or
Lutsies.
You got a Lutsies left there. Might be enough. Let's see.
Mum reckons Mark Knopfler's is just baby breath.
Yes, baby breath. That's it. That's a common name for it.
Name.
She wanted baby. Yeah.
For the
that is
she was talked out of it.
Not the Gyp softeners.
Okay.
Gyp softener is a botanical name.
Gyp softener.
Gyp softener or what? Baby's breath.
Baby's breath.
Baby's breath.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's bring in the game.
She's gonna be a mighty game, so contestants beware. She's never lost on time before. Well, actually, it's rare. She's gonna be the main event, the no game pause before. She'll line you up and shoot you down. She's awesome to the core. So far, another inspiring performance from the Kim. Well, we just can't wait, bring in the game.
Good.
Freddie!
Susie O'Neill! It will be a miracle! You won't see anything like that again this year!
All right, here we go.
I was just going to say, just hearing the great Ray Warren's voice then, NRL Grand Final on this weekend, who's calling it?
Matt Thompson,
Is Matt
I dare
Thompson
say
calling it, or is it
he
Peter
does the big game.
Pasoltis?
Peter Salters, was it? No, he's not. I don't know.
Matt Thompson does the Origin, so I only assume. I think Pistol Pete might have the NRLW because he usually does those games. He does them well.
Okay.
All right, let's see how Suse went.
30 seconds on the clock, and your time starts now. In the NATO phonetic alphabet, what word represents the letter F?
Francis.
Who played Elvis in the 2022 Baz Luhrmann movie biopic?
Don't know.
In what year did the Chernobyl power plant explode?
84.
What is the fastest land mammal?
Cheetah.
The Pythagoras theorem is associated with what shape?
A triangle.
Stop clock. Sue's clearly ahead on time.
5 seconds for Suse, yeah.
I'll take 1, 2, go.
Tate.
In the NATO phonetic alphabet, what word represents the letter F? I don't remember what you both said, but you're both wrong. Foxtrot, it is. Foxtrot.
Yes.
Who played Elvis in the 2022 Baz Luhrmann movie biopic? You both said, I don't know.
The answer is Austin Butler.
And he's the guy, isn't he, Kendall, that when he talks normal, he sounds exactly like Elvis. Is he still
it's like
doing
he took the persona on and he won't let it go.
Oh, did he just bung that on?
I
Or
don't know.
is that the way he speaks? Mitch?
Yeah, ask his ex-girlfriends and they say he didn't used to sound like that.
No, he trained that hard. I saw a trailer the other day for a movie that's coming up, some festival somewhere. It's called Austin, the Austin Butler story. All about just spoofing the idea that this guy got so in character and it's him struggling to become himself again.
He is Elvis.
He's become Elvis. He can't escape Elvis.
But if you trained to the level where you sound like Morgan Freeman, I ain't giving that up.
No.
You know what I mean?
I think it's just a party trick. You pull it out when you want and you go back to your old voice.
But not every
The
movie
party
role.
trick I pull it out when I want. Hopefully be seen on Oasis, actually.
Sorry, what?
Oh, geez, that'll get people there. Register for that.
There you go.
At the Nova Player.
Pull out my party trick.
In what year did the Chernobyl power plant explode? Now, interesting, you both said 1984. Very close, but it was 1986. And it's 0-all after 3 questions. The fastest land mammal. You both said the cheetah, and that is correct. Top speed, 120 kilometres an hour. Flying. 1-all. Final question. Pythagoras theorem is associated with what shape? Sue said the triangle. You said the square bracket.
I appreciate the square bracket.
Triangle is correct. Suze wins 2-1, and it means tomorrow morning when we play, first at 8 o'clock, it'll be worth $600.
Into the cave you go, Lutzy. Is Veronica even there still? You still there, Veronica?
Did we get that song sorted?
I don't know what happened. It got cut off.
Yeah, that's okay.
Wait, I'll finish, then you can play as much as you see.
Turn the radio
what's
down,
going on
Veronica.
now? I've got Ashley outside the cave still talking. I've got what have I got here? I've got a family pass to Sea Life Sunshine Coast Aquarium, which you can dive into these school holidays. Book online right now. And 4 tickets to Nova's Night at the Movies, the advanced screening of Venom, The Last Dance, which is at Event Cinemas Carindale in VMAX. Don't miss it. It's starring Tom Hardy and is only in the cinemas from October 24. So you'll have a great day at Event Cinemas VMAX as well. Well done there, Veronica.
Thank you. I thought I dropped out, but thank you so much.
That's okay. Oh, this song?
There we
The verse is the best. If we kick in here, it's just the end.
Days drag by in the favorite way. Any road never down. When you wake from your dream with a wolf at the door, reaching down for Veronica.
It's a good song.
Well, it was all 65 years ago when the world was the street where she lived, and the young man sailed on a ship in the sea with a picture of Veronica. I'm the Empress of India.
This is the boring bit.
How long does it go for?
I've heard enough.
It's a song, eh? 3 minutes.
Write it out, mate. Write it out, mate.
No, it gets into the good bit after
More
this
bangers
bit.
like this with Mel Tracina up next.
He picks it up here.
Smoke his name out loud again. Do you suppose the ways that analyze Veronica got to hide all the time she laughs at those that shout her name and stealing clothes? Veronica.
Ash, Lutzy, and Susie O'Neill's end of show recap.
Kendall Gilding's back.
Let's see if I can keep the Karens happy.
What does that mean?
Last time I was in, some woman just wrote on our social media, I don't know about that girl. I don't think she was very good or something. And I was like, I can see your message.
Don't read the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Rule number 1.
Well, I think
Kendall
keeps
gets off
you
with that
humble.
Yeah.
Before three-quarter time, I remember saying to Al, like, they can put 40 on us in a heartbeat.
Totally.
Like, they're the team that can do it. Just before three-quarter time, we went to the toilet, and Mel Michael, the Lions superstar, ex-superstar, was literally at the urinal next to us at a packed toilet. And we went, Mel, can we call it yet? And Mel Michael went, we've got this, it's over. And the whole urinal went, Mel Michael, call that! Is it scary Halloween, or is it like American Halloween where you can go as like Olivia Rodrigo for some reason?
Yeah.
Wear your lingerie.
Yeah, whatever.
I'd love to see you as Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay. I'll work on it.
Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill. The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.